And then finally, where my why really took place in this business was, and it's what was so cool about, you talk about a God moment, I think about, she was at the same convention I was at, we just happened to go to a convention in St. Louis, which I was not going to go to, and all these things fell into place. And then every area of my life with the Vemma, and I know for y'all that when you make a decision, that changes your destiny. And when I'm talking to tanning, and I talk to people, and not just tanning industry, I talk to people, and some people don't like the concept, they're not interested in that remarking or whatever, and I certainly understand that, and I don't believe me, I'm still good friends with them, and don't worry about it, I don't bother with it. Other people might not like the taste of Vemma or something, and I have no problem with those folks either. But it amazes me the people who say they want to do it. They say, yeah, I'm in, but then they don't take any kind of action. And when I know that if you just make that decision, just like Sue did, pick up, go to Vegas on her expense, not knowing, no upline help, nobody to call, and to rank advance herself on her own without even knowing what she was doing. She just took action. And when we see, and we were talking in the car coming over here, the talent that we see here is just amazing. Because when I consider how we started in Virginia Beach, it's nothing compared to the talent y'all have here. And all I want to leave you with is there's a lady named Florence Chadwick, I believe her name is, and she's famous for she's one of the ladies who swam the English Channel. And not long after that, she wanted to do something that had never been done. She wanted to swim from the Catalina Islands to the coast of California. It was going to be a 26-mile swim, but she was going to attempt to do it, and she did. And while she's swimming, and the waters were cold, and swimming, her mother, and I believe it was either her husband or boyfriend, were in the neighboring boat near her, helping her, encouraging her on the way as she get tired, keep telling her, you're getting closer, you're getting closer. Then eventually the fog settled in, and she lost her way. And she's swimming, they said, you're doing okay, keep going, keep going. And she started talking about quitting. And they kept saying, no, you can do this, you can do this, kept encouraging her. And then finally she said, that's it. I want in the boat. And they pulled her up in the boat. She had gone over 25 miles, and she gave up a mile away. And they said, why would you give up so close? And she said, because the fog had settled in, and I couldn't see the shoreline. I couldn't remember what the shoreline looked like. I had no vision. And with no vision, you perish. And she gave up. But the good thing was, 2 months later, she tried again. And this time she tried, the fog set in again. But she remembered distinctly what that shoreline looked like when she got in that boat and made it the rest of the way from the time before. And this time she made it the entire way by keeping her sight, not in that cold water that she was in, not being in the midst of that fog, but seeing that vision, being that it is there. I've got to keep pushing on, it is there. And I'm here to tell you, somebody that, the bad thing about talking about your money, if you don't talk about making any money, in Vemma, people say, you're not making any money. If you sit there and say, I'm making $6,000 a week, you're bragging. And I don't like to brag about it. What I would brag about is what I call the wealthy income, the passive income. The $4,000 plus a week that we get, excuse me, $6,000 a week, but $4,000 a week in passive income that we get without showing up for work. We get whether we're here, whether we're in Hawaii, whether we're going to Mexico next week, courtesy of Vemma. And that income's going to be coming in. That's passive income. It pays all our bills, pays for our lifestyle, and that's because of the work we did in the past. And everybody can achieve that because I did not create any of it. I was just smart enough to be dumb enough to listen to Ruth Elliott and other people who come before me and plug in. Because every time I tried to do something on my own, my business plateaued or went backwards. So I would always plug in, Ruth, what do I do? And she'd say, have a strong will. Why are you doing that? Remind yourself why you're doing that. Number 2, make sure you believe in the product, the company, and yourself. And number 3, take action and follow the action we're doing. Talk to people. Don't sit there and stare at your back office or talk about aggressively getting ready what you're going to do. Make the contact. Look someone in the eye and say, hey, I found a way to earn an extra paycheck each week without working. Would you like to hear about it? Without having a second job. Hey, I've discovered this and so forth. I thought of you because. And find a way to make those contacts. I am telling you, in this business, and of course if you're in the tanning industry, it's even easier, obviously, because you've got customers coming in the door, but you don't need that. I mean, 90% of my business comes outside the tanning industry. But that's just a blessing. That just makes it even easier. But it is a matter of just having vision and believing in yourself and the company and what you're involved with, and having a powerful enough why that you want this bad enough not to give up. I know some of y'all that are in the tanning business, I'm not telling you anything you don't know, but when I had my first store, it took me 6 years to turn a profit. took me 6 days to turn profitable with Vemma. But you know, once I was profitable in my first store, about 8 years in, I wanted to open up a second store. And the bank that had watched me grow from a $200,000 my first year, we're now doing about $500,000. You know, they thought, oh yeah, we'd finance you in a second. So I went and made plans, signed leases and everything. Guess what? They turned me down. And I was like, you're turning me down? He said, there's not enough room for another tanning salon in this town. And so I got turned down for the only bank I'd ever used. And at that time, I'm about destroyed. I'm thinking, I'm going to lose everything. I've already signed leases to open up a second store, then made commitments on beds. This loan seemed like a sure thing. But somehow we muddled through. And now here we are with 16 stores. The funny thing was that bank, which was called Prestar at that time, went under. And they're now called SunTrust. And I said, the bank that told me I couldn't make it is now gone, and we have 16 locations. And so I said, you've got to learn not to worry about what someone else is saying about you, but believe if you're on a strong team. And with Vemma, the great thing that Ruth Elliott taught me was, it's not about Dennis whether you think you can do it or not, it's whether we can do it. And she says, I'm making $2 million a year at this business. I can trust me, if you team up with me, we can do it. And I'm telling y'all that with the leadership you have, with Michelle and Jeff here, and you guys showing up here tonight, and believing in something, I'm telling you, Wisconsin is just, it's like virgin territory for Vemma. It's like where Virginia was 3 years ago when we were not in the top 25, and now we're number 5. Well, Wisconsin's not in the top 25. And that was one of the things I wanted to find out before I came here, is to know. And I just let BK know and let the home office know. I said, when you see Wisconsin moving up the ranks, just look to Green Bay, because that's where it's going to be coming from. And they said, okay, and they said, we're excited to watch for it. I said, it will happen in the same way you saw it happen with Virginia. Because it's a very simple concept. It's believing in your heart that we've got something good here. We got an opportunity here, a great product that you believe in. Most of you have already given testimony to the product. And then you take that and say, you know, hey, I'm going to take this and teach others and go to business. Because I know fitness trainer better than anybody can tell you. In January, you go to the average fitness club, you can say, oh my God, I got to go open one of these things. This place is packed. And then you go in May, you go, why did I get in this business? Where are all them people that were coming here in January? It's not that they can't do it. They can still do it. But their why really wasn't big enough. I mean, trainers can still do it. Trainers can do this amazing job with people. But they can't do anything unless you show up. And all I'm telling you to do here and leave you with this today is tomorrow is an opportunity meeting. You have a couple opportunity meetings here. And it's about reaching someone and saying, hey, I want you to see this. You need to see this. It might change your life and change mine. Take about 25 minutes and join me tomorrow and watch this. And you get a few people energized like that, like I got 6 people energized, and you just get a little handful of people going, and you help them. They know that you're in it. You're not just signing them up and say, okay, next, let me get somebody else. You're like, no, we're in this together. I'm not going to stop working side by side with you until you quit or until we get you where you want to go. And I'm going to keep working with you. And you help that person rank advance from bronze, silver, gold, diamond, platinum, walk it up the ladder. And I promise you that the next time I come back here, a room like this would not come close to holding what kind of meeting you want to have. When we had our first event in my house, we had 9 people. And we gave a little small meeting. 5 months after that meeting, we had 260 people for Ruth Elliott when she came into town. All because we all started telling people, one by one, and our belief in the concept and the product and the opportunity. So, as I said, the greatest blessing for me, obviously, being just like Sue said, was meeting her. You know, if I had nothing more than that led to that, that would be the greatest joy of my life as far as what Vemma's meant to me. But when she got on board, I was amazed when we started working together how I've been talking to some brand partner, she'd be in the other room and saying, I signed up for another 2. And I helped this person sign up because she was masterful on the phone. And I would sit there and I remember saying to her, I said, if people knew how good you were on the phone, they would be having your phone lit up all day long for you to talk to somebody. And one of the most powerful ways we get people in this business is a three-way call, where we can take the time and you say, hey, Dennis, can you tell this person a little bit about Vemma? Hey, Sue, can you tell this person a little bit about Vemma? And let someone who's done it 1,000 times tell that message. And you just feel like your job is one thing. I just want to get them. I just want to pique their interest and point them to somebody or to a video or webinar and let that do the work for them. And if you'll do that, you'll be amazed at how fast you will grow in this business. And just don't doubt yourself and don't put limits on yourself how far you can go, because I'll be honest with you, 3 years ago, if you'd have thought I'd been standing here earning the income that we're making now, I mean, it's mind-boggling for me to think about that it all came from an energy drink that I love to death. And it was nothing more than I just love this drink. And And I did a lot of things wrong in the early days, but what Sue and I both did is we took action. And that's all I'm encouraging y'all to do is believe in yourself, believe in your leadership here, tie in with all of us and all the way up to Ruth. And we'll be here to help you and work with you and be happy to come down as many times as needed, especially with a growing area, and help this explode. And y'all be the ones that, the great thing about being the new kid in town, you're the one building it, the credit goes to you. It's like, this is the team that put Wisconsin on the map, or Minnesota on the map, or whatever state it might be on the map. But obviously, with my upline leader being from Illinois, you know, I told him, I said, just watch for Wisconsin. It'll be the one that's right above Illinois. Thank y'all very much. I appreciate your time.